Have you ever felt that even living in a world full of noise, rush, and so many interactions, there is something different about you? Perhaps you prefer moments of silence, enjoy being alone, and find peace in your own company. This is not a bad thing, quite the opposite. It may be a sign that God has something special reserved for you. Some people have been set apart for a greater mission, and this need for introspection, to step away from the chaos, is a common characteristic among the chosen ones. Today, I want to talk to you about this. We will discuss personality traits that are common in people who prefer solitude, but at the same time, carry something unique within themselves. These traits are not just random characteristics, but signs that God is working in your life, shaping you for something greater. Perhaps you have already noticed that you do not feel comfortable in crowds, or that you prefer deeper and more meaningful friendships. Or maybe you have a heightened sensitivity to perceive what is around you, an intuition that guides and protects you. These are just a few examples of what we will explore today. But before we continue, I want you to know that there is nothing wrong with being different. The world often tries to push us to be like everyone else, to follow patterns and seek approval all the time. But the chosen ones do not fit into these molds. They have a greater purpose, and that is why they often prefer silence, reflection, and connection with God. Throughout this video, we will talk about 9 personality traits that are common in people who prefer to be alone, but at the same time carry a special mission. I want you to pay attention to each of them and see if you can identify with them. Perhaps you will discover that these traits are part of who you are and that God is preparing you for something grand. Before we continue, I want to make a special invitation. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, take this moment to subscribe right now and activate the notification bell. This way, you ensure that you won't miss any content that can help you better understand your journey and your purpose. 1. Open mind for the new and the divine. The chosen ones, who prefer to be alone, possess a very special characteristic: an open mind for the new and the divine. This openness does not mean that they accept everything without thinking, or that they are easily influenced, but rather that they have a mental flexibility that allows them to see beyond the limitations of everyday life. They do not cling to rigid ideas or prejudices, but are always willing to learn, grow, and adapt to the changes that life brings. This open mind is a reflection of their connection with God and their constant search for truth. People who prefer solitude usually have more time to reflect and observe the world around them. They are not distracted by the noise of crowds or the need to please everyone. This space of silence and introspection allows them to develop a broader view of life and a greater sensitivity to perceive what God is doing in their lives. They understand that life is a journey of constant learning and that every experience, good or bad, has something to teach. Having an open mind is essential for those who have been called by God for a special mission. This is because the path of the chosen is not always clear or predictable. Often, God guides us through situations that we do not understand immediately, but that are part of a greater plan. A closed mind may resist these changes, but an open mind trusts and adapts, knowing that everything has a purpose. This flexibility is what allows the chosen to grow spiritually and prepare for the challenges to come. Moreover, the chosen ones who prefer solitude see the unknown as an opportunity for spiritual growth. They are not afraid to explore new ideas, learn different things, or face situations that take them out of their comfort zone. For them, the unknown is not a threat, but an opportunity for growth. This curiosity is fueled by their connection with God, who inspires them to seek truth and wisdom in everything they do. They know that by opening themselves up to the new, they are allowing God to work in their lives in unexpected and powerful ways. This open mind also makes them more receptive to the voice of God. Often God speaks to us in ways we do not expect, through people, situations, or even silence. The chosen ones, having a flexible mind, can perceive these signs and understand what God is trying to tell them. They do not cling to rigid ideas or prejudices, but are always willing to listen and learn. This openness is what makes them so sensitive to divine guidance. Another important aspect is that the chosen see the world with empathy and understanding. They do not judge people based on appearances or prejudices, but seek to understand their stories and feelings. This ability to see beyond the superficial is a reflection of their connection with God, who teaches them to love and respect others, even when there are differences. They know that each person has a purpose and that everyone is on a unique journey. However, it is important to emphasize that this openness does not mean accepting everything without discernment. The chosen have a special ability to evaluate what is good and what is not. They do not let themselves be swayed by any idea or influence, but always seek God's guidance to make decisions. This combination of an open mind and discernment is what makes them so special and prepared to fulfill their mission. Finally, having an open mind also means being willing to change. The chosen understand that life is made up of cycles, and that sometimes it is necessary to leave behind old habits, beliefs, or relationships to move forward. They are not afraid to start over because they know that God is with them every step of the way. This courage to change is what allows them to grow and transform, becoming increasingly aligned with divine purpose. If you feel that you have this characteristic, know that it is a gift from God. Use it to grow, learn, and connect even more with the purpose He has for you. Remember that an open mind is a powerful tool to see beyond the obvious and discover the wonders that God has prepared for your life. Trust the process, even when you do not understand the path, and allow God to guide your steps. After all, an open mind is the first step to a heart receptive to divine will. 2. Absolute sincerity. Another striking trait of the chosen ones who prefer to be alone is absolute sincerity. These people have a deep commitment to truth, both regarding themselves and others. They do not seek to please with empty words or falsehoods, but prefer to be honest, even if that is not always easy. This sincerity is a way to honor the divine calling they feel in their hearts and to live according to the values that God has placed in their lives. The sincerity of the chosen is not just a matter of speaking the truth, but of living authentically. They do not wear masks to please others or to fit into social standards. Instead, they choose to be who they really are, even if that makes them different or misunderstood. This authenticity is an expression of their connection with God, who created them uniquely and called them for a special mission. People who prefer solitude have more time to reflect on who they really are. They do not let themselves be swayed by external pressures or the need to please everyone. This time of introspection helps them to know themselves better and to live more aligned with their values. That is why their sincerity is so striking. They are not afraid to say what they think or to express their opinions, but they do so with respect and wisdom. This characteristic also makes them extremely trustworthy. People know they can count on them for an honest opinion or to receive true advice. They do not say what others want to hear, but what they need to hear, always with the intention of helping and uplifting. This reliability is one of the reasons why the chosen are so respected and admired by those who truly know them. However, absolute sincerity can also bring challenges. Not everyone is ready to deal with the truth, and the chosen may face criticism or rejection for being so authentic. But even in the face of these difficulties, they remain true to themselves and to God's calling. They know that truth is a non-negotiable value, and that living sincerely is a way to honor their mission. If you identify with this trait, know that it is a blessing. Sincerity is a light in a world full of falsehoods and superficialities. Use it to inspire others, to build true relationships, and to live according to the purpose that God has for you. Remember that being sincere is a way to reflect divine truth and to show the world what it means to be chosen. 3. Creativity and authenticity. The chosen ones by God often find in solitude a fertile ground for creativity and authenticity. This trait is one of the most beautiful and powerful marks of those who prefer to be alone. Solitude, far from being an empty isolation, is a sacred space where they can explore their passions, develop ideas, and express their uniqueness without the pressure to please or conform to the standards of the world. It is in this silence that creativity flourishes and authenticity manifests in its purest form. The creativity of the chosen is not just a skill, but an expression of their connection with the divine. They see the world in a unique way, perceiving beauty and meaning where others may not see. This sensitivity inspires them to create, whether through art, music, writing, or other forms of expression. For them, creativity is a way to reflect the divine beauty they perceive in the world, and to share that vision with others. It is as if God has placed in them a desire to transform the ordinary into something extraordinary, to bring light and inspiration to those around them. Authenticity, in turn, is what gives strength and truth to the creativity of the chosen. They do not create to impress or to fit into pre-established molds, but to express who they truly are. This authenticity is a reflection of their connection with God, who created them uniquely and called them for a special mission. They understand that they do not need to be like others or follow current trends because their true strength lies in being faithful to themselves and to the purpose that God has placed in their lives. Solitude plays a fundamental role in this process. When they are alone, the chosen have the freedom to explore their ideas without distractions or judgments. They can experiment, make mistakes, and start over, knowing that this is a natural path to growth and discovery. This time of introspection also allows them to connect more deeply with God, seeking inspiration and guidance for their creations. It is in this space of silence and reflection that many of their best ideas emerge. Moreover, the creativity of the chosen is often linked to the desire to serve and uplift others. They do not create just for themselves, but to share something meaningful with the world. Whether it is a song that touches the heart, a painting that inspires hope, or a text that brings clarity and comfort, their creations have the power to positively impact lives. They understand that their gifts are not just for their own benefit, but to fulfill God's greater purpose in their lives. However, being creative and authentic is not always easy. The world often tries to shape us, telling us how we should be, what we should do, and how we should think. For the chosen, resisting these pressures can be a challenge, but it is also an opportunity to reaffirm their identity and purpose. They know that their authenticity is a gift from God, and that by being true to themselves, they are honoring the divine calling. If you identify with this trait, know that your creativity and authenticity are precious gifts. Use them to express who you are, to reflect divine beauty, and to inspire others. Do not be afraid to be different or to follow a unique path, because that is exactly what makes you chosen. Remember that God created you with a special purpose, and that your creativity is a way to fulfill that purpose. 4. Selected friendships with purpose. The chosen ones by God have a very particular approach to friendships. They do not seek crowds or superficial social circles, but prefer deep and meaningful connections. This trait reflects their wisdom and discernment, as they understand that not everyone who enters their lives is aligned with the purpose that God has for them. Therefore, they are selective in allowing others to get close, valuing the quality of friendships over quantity. For the chosen ones who prefer solitude, friendships are not just casual companionships, but relationships with purpose. They know that each person who enters their lives can influence them in some way, whether positively or negatively. That is why they choose to surround themselves with people who share similar values, who respect their journey, and who help them grow spiritually. These friendships are like a reflection of God's love, bringing support, encouragement, and inspiration. This selectivity does not mean that the chosen are cold or distant. On the contrary, when they trust someone, they give themselves genuinely and deeply. They are loyal friends, dedicated and willing to make sacrifices for those they love. They value honesty, respect, and reciprocity, and expect the same in return. For them, a true friendship is a gift from God, something that should be cared for and nurtured with love and dedication. Solitude also plays an important role in this aspect. By spending more time alone, the chosen have the opportunity to reflect on who they really are and on the type of people they want by their side. They are not in a hurry to form friendships because they understand that the most valuable connections take time to develop. This patience and discernment help them avoid superficial or toxic relationships, allowing them to focus on building bonds that truly matter. Moreover, the chosen understand that not everyone is prepared to comprehend their journey or their purpose. Therefore, they do not open up easily to just anyone. They know that some people may not respect or value what God is doing in their lives, and they prefer to protect what is sacred. This wisdom helps them avoid emotional wear and tear and to maintain focus on their mission. If you identify with this trait, know that your selectivity regarding friendships is a blessing. Do not feel pressured to fit into social circles or to please everyone. Value the connections that truly matter, those that help you grow and reflect God's love. Remember that true friendships are rare and precious, and that it is better to have a few loyal friends than many superficial acquaintances. Trust that God will place the right people in your life at the right time. 5. Courage to face challenges. The chosen ones who prefer solitude possess extraordinary inner strength, and this strength manifests primarily in the courage to face challenges. While many people may feel paralyzed in the face of difficulties, the chosen see each obstacle as an opportunity for growth. This courage does not come only from their personality, but from their connection with God, who strengthens and guides them in times of adversity. Solitude plays an important role in this process. When they are alone, the chosen have the chance to reflect on their struggles and seek strength in their faith. They understand that challenges are part of life, and that often they are necessary to shape their character and prepare them for something greater. Instead of fleeing from or avoiding problems, they confront them head-on, trusting that God is by their side and that each difficulty has a purpose. This courage is also linked to resilience. The chosen know that life will not always be easy, but they believe that they can overcome anything with determination and faith. They do not let failures or setbacks bring them down. Instead, they see them as valuable lessons. Each fall is an opportunity to rise stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what is to come. This mindset sets them apart and makes them examples of strength and perseverance for those around them. Moreover, the chosen are not afraid to face their own fears and limitations. They understand that to grow, it is necessary to step out of their comfort zone and confront what challenges them. This courage to face the unknown is a reflection of their trust in God and their willingness to fulfill their divine mission. They know that even when the path seems difficult or uncertain, God is in control, and will guide them in the right direction. Another important aspect is that the chosen do not face challenges only for themselves, but also for others. They have a sense of responsibility and purpose that motivates them to fight for what they believe in and to help those in need. Their courage is not selfish but altruistic, and this makes them natural leaders and sources of inspiration for those around them. If you identify with this trait, know that your courage is a gift from God. Use it to face the challenges of life with confidence and determination, knowing that each difficulty is an opportunity for growth. Remember that God never gives us more than we can bear, and that, with Him by your side, you can overcome anything. Trust in your inner strength and keep moving forward, even when the path seems difficult. 6. Focus and spiritual productivity. For the chosen ones who prefer solitude, loneliness is not seen as isolation, but as an opportunity to focus on what truly matters. They understand that time is a precious resource and should be used wisely. Therefore, they dedicate their energy to activities that bring them closer to their goals and to God, maintaining a clear focus on their mission and purpose. Solitude offers an ideal environment for focus. Away from the distractions and noise of the world, the chosen can concentrate on their priorities and work more productively. They know that introspection brings clarity, and that by setting aside time to reflect and plan, they can align their actions with their values and goals. This focus is not only practical but also spiritual, as it is directly linked to their connection with God. Spiritual productivity is a striking characteristic of the chosen. They do not settle for merely passing the time, but seek to use it meaningfully. This may include moments of prayer, Bible study, meditation, or other practices that help them grow spiritually. For them, these activities are not just habits, but ways to connect with God and strengthen their faith. Moreover, the chosen understand that productivity is not just about doing more, but about doing what truly matters. They prioritize tasks and activities that have a positive impact on their lives and the lives of others. This approach helps them avoid wasting time and energy on things that are not aligned with their purpose. Another important aspect is that the chosen use their time in solitude to recharge their energies and prepare for the challenges of life. They know that to be productive, they need to take care of themselves, both physically and spiritually. This balance is essential for maintaining focus and motivation over time. If you identify with this trait, know that your focus and spiritual productivity are precious gifts. Use them to draw closer to God, to achieve your goals, and to make a difference in the world. Remember that each moment is an opportunity to grow and fulfill the purpose that God has for you. 7. Self-knowledge and deep reflection. Moments of solitude allow the chosen ones to gain a clearer view of themselves. They understand that to fulfill their divine mission, it is essential to know their strengths and weaknesses, and to work towards becoming the best version of themselves. This ability for self-knowledge and deep reflection is one of the most striking characteristics of those who prefer to be alone. Solitude offers a safe space for introspection. Away from distractions and the expectations of others, the chosen can focus on their own emotions, thoughts, and experiences. They use this time to evaluate their actions, learn from their mistakes, and plan their next steps. This practice of reflection helps them grow and align with the purpose that God has for their lives. Self-knowledge is also a powerful tool for dealing with adversities. The chosen understand that by knowing their own strengths and weaknesses, they can face life's challenges with more confidence and resilience. They are not afraid to admit their limitations, but see them as opportunities for learning and growth. This humility and willingness to improve are reflections of their connection with God and their desire to live according to His will. 9. Trust and independence. The chosen ones by God possess an unwavering trust and an independence that sets them apart from many people. These traits are not the result of arrogance or pride, but of a deep connection with God and a clear understanding of who they are and the purpose they have in their lives. They do not need constant approval from others to feel valued, as their identity is firmly rooted in their faith and values. This trust allows them to live authentically, even if it means going against expectations or social conventions. The trust of the chosen is based on their unwavering faith in God. They know that regardless of the circumstances, God is in control, and that He has a perfect plan for their lives. This certainty strengthens them in the face of challenges and adversities, enabling them to confront difficulties with courage and determination. They do not let themselves be shaken by criticism, rejection, or the opinions of others, because they understand that their true strength comes from God and not from external validation. This trust makes them resilient, capable of rising after falls and moving forward with hope and purpose. Moreover, the chosen possess an independence that distinguishes them. They do not succumb to external pressures or the desire to please everyone. Instead, they make decisions based on their principles and values, always seeking to align their choices with the purpose that God has for their lives. This independence does not mean that they are isolated or indifferent to the opinions of others, but that they have the courage to say no to what is not aligned with their mission or with God's plans. They understand that pleasing God is more important than pleasing the world. This courage to be different is one of the strongest marks of the chosen. They are not afraid to tread unique paths or to stand out for their convictions. Even when facing criticism or misunderstanding, they remain steadfast in their faith and values. This independence helps them avoid distractions and maintain focus on their mission, allowing them to live authentically and meaningfully. They know that by being true to themselves and to God, they are fulfilling the divine plan for their lives. If you identify with this trait, know that your trust and independence are precious gifts. Use them to live authentically, to make wise decisions, and to remain steadfast in your faith, even in the face of adversities. Remember that by trusting in God and in yourself, you are showing the world what it means to be chosen. Your strength and courage are a powerful example to everyone around you, inspiring others to also live with purpose and authenticity. Now, we want to hear from you. Share in the comments which of these traits are part of your personality and how you perceive them in your journey. Your story may inspire others who are seeking to understand their purpose. And if this message resonated with you, like this content, and subscribe to continue exploring more about the purpose of those chosen by God. Together, we can grow in faith and discover the divine plan that unites us.